What's going on, YouTube? It's Akuma1921 here with the ban list, the March 1st ban list. I'm pretty sure all of you guys know it, and for you people that don't, well, I'm going to explain it to you and tell you what I think is going to be top tier and what's going on and all that good jazz. Start off with, nothing was banned. I'm not surprised, but then again, when I was talking to Caesar and a couple other people, I guess I never really paid attention, really, that usually something always comes off the ban list. Always. Something always comes off, and, we play with it for a format. If it's too crazy, which it most likely would be, then it goes back off. But nothing was banned. But what we do have and nothing came back actually too. Faith didn't come back, Yugioh didn't come back. Those are the only two cards that I really think that wouldn't be too broken. It wouldn't hurt the game. They wouldn't really, Monarchs aren't the biggest thing, so the Monarch killer Tsukiyomi, wouldn't be that serious. I don't think it can also kill Dark Arm. It needs to be an out, for people that can't just get over a Dark Arm, for all the like kids and stuff, who can't, do whatever. Like I said, I don't think that those two cards are anywhere near extravagantly crazy. But what did go to one on the list, and a lot of it I'm glad it did. Bernag, Dragon of the Ice Boundary, or Dragon of the Ice Barrier. I'm glad he went to one. Zombies were crazy, even though they kind of hurt the deck on this list anyway. Being able to have, I was surprised it was supposed to already be the one because Japan had it the one, but now, Frank DeBrito and a whole bunch of other people are telling me all of a sudden, oh, we don't always follow their list. How do you figure if all these other times, every time Japan's list came out, we copied their list? We already knew Bernag was at 1, so when they gave it to us at 3, they just let all hell break loose, and I was very surprised they did that. But it's all good. I topped the first shonen with that you were able to play with Hidden Arsenal with it at 1. I didn't really think I needed to play 2 or more. I mean, later on I put it in the second one, but for no reason, just because I could, just because it was at 3. I might as well abuse what we can, So Chaos Sorcerer went to 1. I got sick of that card. I'm not really a fan of the Chaos era. I wasn't really playing in that era. Like, when I say I'm not a fan of it, I wasn't, like, people tell me how broken Chaos Return was and this and that. I just started playing competitively in the middle of 2007, like around PC era, like the height of the Monarch era and all that good stuff, just after T-Hero with Metamorphosis and all that. I really didn't get into all that, but then when straight, 12 gauge Monarchs, Brian Rockenback, Adam Korn, and all that good stuff, national champion of that year, that's when I got started, and then in the PC and all that good stuff. So, Chaos Sorcerer, he's really clutch. Like, he's a good card when it comes to clutch, but he's really, honestly, not one of my favorite cards. I kind of don't like him, I ain't gonna lie. He's alright, but it's whatever it is. So I'm glad he went to 1. I seen some lists that was gonna put him to 3, and if it did, then I'll have to look into it, because like they would basically make, like, Chaos Control kind of hot again, with the Monarchs, or remove 2, special summon this, remove a card, then tribute for a Monarch. That's crazy, but it's whatever though. Lumina, Lightsworn Summoner. Oh my god. And Necro Gardener. Who else is there on 1? Charger Light Brigade. I am so happy those 3 cards at 1. I was playing my friend Pedro today. Shout out to Pinway80. Go subscribe to him. And like the deck just, obviously we already know it's slower, but when I actually picked up the deck and started playing with it, I was like, ew, this is crazy. This deck is too slow. Like, the one Necro Gardener, I always kept drawing it. The jump was crazy. But people keep telling me that Lightsworn is still going to be hot. My boy Jarrell Winston, shout out to Pro Winston, he said, I'm going to stick to my Lightsworns. I'm going to still try to make it work. Man, to be honest with you, Necro Guard or Judgment Dragon could go back to 3. Necro Guard, and I say that because Necro Guard was the only thing that all of us, other players were crazy about and upset about, because it'd be like in phase, mill, wolf, no type of skill. You just get lucky. It's not really skill, and it's not really It's sackiness because it's happening to you. But if you were doing it to somebody else, you'd be like, oh, I got lucky. So you can't really get on somebody else, for all the sackiness. But then you go play for one regional or 2 because, oh, I'm tired of playing all these other decks. I'm gonna go with the sackiness. No, you just got lucky. And the times you don't mill like that, well, you just get unlucky. But back on the subject, like I said, I'm glad those 3 cards went to 1. I can't wait to see somebody play Charge Light Brigade and mill their Lumina when they're going in their deck to look for it. I can't wait for that. But that's really good to see. You can go back to running DD Crow and not Kaiku. I really didn't like Kaiku anyway. DD Crow's always been one of my favorite removal cards from the grave. So we can go back to Crow and, end phase it on that 1 Crow, or even just, draw it out, that 1 Crow. And Burial's at 1 too, thank goodness, so you don't have to worry about them trying to dump it back. Mizuki went to 1, and Necroface went to 1. Now Necroface, I heard about, Shuten, Doji, OTK, or Deck Out deck, excuse me, and stuff like that. So, I mean, I can kind of see why they did that to him. Mizuki, he had to go back to 1. The card was just too crazy. When we had it at 3, the deck was crazy because, back, Teledat era, you could sync or summon so many times. It was crazy, but we didn't have Vernite. That's what made the deck pop off like that. But let's keep it moving here. Allure of Darkness went to 1. Kind of surprised at that, but it is a really powerful draw card. It's all good, though. Tragoedia went to 1. Had to be done, just like Gore's. Very powerful card. Has a better effect than Gore's. And the token's all gravy, but being able to brain control permanently your opponent's monster is pretty broke. Destiny Draw, that surprised me. I cannot believe that went to 1. D-Hero Engine's always been one of my favorite engines. Most of my duels on my YouTube, if you go check out all my videos, have been with the D-Hero Engine. I'm real mad that they did that. 2 would have been fine if they would have still did that again. It would have slowed down everything. Wouldn't have been as crazy, but 1, that kind of pushed it over the edge. Foolish Burial, I really don't know about that one, but it's all good. Magical Explosion, I mean, I really don't use it in many decks I play with anyway, but it's all good. Magical Explosion, I'm pretty sure there's some type of OTK, I'm pretty sure, coming out. So that's why they did that. And Mind Crush, nobody really plays it anyway, so I'm not even going to really get into that, why it's hit. But we got limited to 2. Cyber Dragon came back to 2. That opens up a lot of ideas for the, how much time I got left? For the Cyber deck. That new Cyber Ziwi card or whatever, it gains 300 attack during the damage step. That's pretty hot. I'm looking into it. I don't know if you guys ever remember back in the day, the deck that ran like 3 Razors, the Treeborn, 3 Cyber Phoenix, 3 Cyber Dragon. Well, was Cyber Dragon at 2 then? Like 2 Cyber Dragon, like the Overload Fusion, the Future Fusion, and it was like a Monarch machine type mix. So I might have to go back and look into that because also on this list we got Treeborn back at 2, and I just mentioned that in the deck list. So I mean, you can only have out 1 on the field at one time, but that also increases the chances of it being in your opening hand, or you drawing it quicker and it being in the graveyard period. So you can have 2 frogs sitting in the grave. If they crow 1, you still got another one. So Monarch players will be happy to see that. Demise, King of Armageddon, with all the new ritual support coming out, I'm not surprised they put him at 2. I mean, the ancient advanced ritual art is still at 1. If that card would have came back any more than 1, Demise might come back in a crazy way. But so yeah, he's at 2. Honest is at 2. Don't have to worry about your opponent triple honest in you, or if you see 1 in the grave, they only have 1 more left. You don't have to second guess. But dang, does he have 2? Does he have any in his hand? You know what I mean? So I'm glad they're hitting lights one like that. Real good. Black Whirlwind, we already talked about that in my video. They hit Whirlwind to 2. It's all good. I think it's still going to be the fastest, not fastest, but one of the best in terms, decks of the format. So I'll be looking into that a lot. United We Stand. I guess X-Sabers can use it. I don't know, people that have fun, play for fun, that can use it. United We Stand, I don't think anybody really is going to really play that. Power Tool might get a kick out of it. I don't know. But it's better than Mage Power, and I'm surprised they kind of put it at, because if you have 5 monsters in the field, that's 4,000 attack. But Royal Decree, Royal Oppression, and Skill Drain all went to 2. Royal Decree, I'm happy about that. Light Sworn don't need to be able to abuse that. Stop all my traps just so you can do all your, lucky, sackiness, whatever you want to call it, BS. But Skill Drain, I guess that's okay at 2. It really, I mean, I like the side into Skill Drain side and like Black Wings and my D-Hero engine, which is dead now. And stuff like that. So Skill Drain really going to 2 really didn't hurt nothing. It just gives you an option to have another card besides the Skill Drain. You probably only really need 2 anyway. You don't have to go 3. Shoot, I mean, it's not really that serious. If they pop 1, remember you're paying 1,000 life points upon activation every single time. So, and Oppression really not that serious. I don't know many gadget decks or anything that ran 3. And if they did, well, then that's overdoing it. And no wonder why they lost probably all the time because you open up with too many. Mask of Darkness no longer limited. That's only thing I can think about is Reckless Greed when I hear about Mask of Darkness. So them putting it at 3, Countdown might get a kick out of that. Final Countdown can use that. They can get back their threatening roars and stuff a lot easier, and it can be very annoying. It's like running 6 threatening roars or 6 Wabakus or double whatever. And then last but not least, we got Smashing Ground. Smashing Ground coming off at 3 is going to be a problem. You know what? My video is almost about to be done, so I'll start off part 2. It'll be very short, but I'll just talk about that and what decks I think are going to be hot in my next video. All right, Kuma1921 out.